From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, February 7th, 2017. Silver is trading at $17.69 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,232 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 1.8 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $1,042. Antiwar.com reports playing up the idea that we live in troubled times. President Trump on Monday vowed to make a historic financial investment in the U.S. military, saying it would prove America's commitment to the defense of freedom worldwide. Though Trump offered no details as to what this would do to his budgets, it appears to mark a break from previous comments in which he heavily implied that increased spending on warships and planes would be paid for by savings in getting cost of weapons programs under control. Those suggestions have been widely doubted despite the massive cost of some of those weapons programs, and indeed the sheer scale of the expansion of the military envisioned is likely to be budget-breaking irrespective of what savings might be coaxed out of things like the F-35 program. Trump sought to defend this shift by arguing that the global terror situation is far worse than anyone realizes, and claiming that the global media has refused to cover large numbers of terror attacks. The White House is supposedly going to provide a list in the future, though Trump declined to offer a single example, accusing the media of having their reasons to keep terrorism a secret. When her plush and comfy life suddenly and unexpectedly fell apart, Brooke and her dog Cloud set out to defy the odds. If this is a man's world, as they say, living on the streets is no place for a young woman. One day she awoke in the redwood forest and realized she had become a hobo. How to Be a Hobo by Brooke Willett is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. UPI reports a federal appeals court in San Francisco will hear oral arguments on Tuesday about whether to reinstate President Donald Trump's embattled order to temporarily close U.S. borders to refugees and some immigrants. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals announced the hearing on Monday as Trump's administration filed legal briefs there. The federal court will hear oral arguments in the case by phone on Tuesday beginning at 6 p.m. Eastern. Each side will get 30 minutes to argue their position. The announcement came one day after the appellate court denied a request by the DOJ to immediately reinstate the executive order, which temporarily bans U.S. entry for all refugees, as well as immigrants from 7 predominantly Muslim countries. The legal moves in San Francisco follow a Seattle judge's ruling on Friday that issued a nationwide injunction against the president's travel ban. Trump's administration argues that the states of Washington and Minnesota have overstepped their legal authority by bringing the case, and that the president does have full authority to guard national security. Opponents in the battle claim the travel ban would cause irreparable harm on multiple fronts. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports North Carolina is close to losing NCAA championship events for 6 years at a cost of more than $250 million because of a law that restricts bathroom access for transgender individuals, according to a local sports official. The governing body for the U.S. Collegiate Athletics is reviewing bids to host events through spring 2022, including 133 bids from North Carolina cities and universities, according to Scott Dupree, executive director of the Greater Raleigh Sports Alliance. The law, known as House Bill 2, which bars transgender individuals from using government-run restrooms that match their gender identity and limits local non-discrimination protections. Dupree said, "Our contacts at the NCAA tell us that due to their stance on HB 2, all North Carolina bids will be pulled from the review process and removed from consideration," adding he was sharing the information on behalf of the North Carolina Sports Association. When asked for comment, the NCAA said it expects to announce its site selection for upcoming seasons in April. In September, the NCAA moved championship events, including 2 rounds of the Division I men's basketball tournament, from the hoops-loving state for the current academic year in protest at the measure. Adopted last March by North Carolina's Republican-controlled legislature, the law prompted legal challenges, boycotts by corporations and entertainers, and the relocation of the NBA's 2017 All-Star Game. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.